Okay, everybody, I'm really enjoying this book. Jacqueline Wilson, Cliffhanger, and Nick Sharrett's brilliant illustrations. Here's another postcard from Tim. Dear Mum and Dad, I went abseiling. I didn't like it. Understatement of the century. I let go the rope and was in mortal danger, but I managed to grab it again. I survived. Just with love from Tim. P.S. It's canoeing today. I could still drown. Chapter 4. Biscuits and I teamed up for the canoe race. Biscuits sat at the front. Our canoe tipped forwards. We swapped round, which was exceedingly difficult. We got a bit wet in the process, but eventually I was squashed in the front and Biscuits sat behind me. Our canoe tilted backwards. We decided to put up with it. We agreed not to take the canoe race too seriously. Giles and Kelly took it very seriously. Indeed, Jake had paired them up in one canoe. Giles stuck his nose in the air at the thought of sharing with Kelly. Kelly held her nose at the thought of sharing with Giles. But they made a very speedy pair. And they were soon racing ahead through the water. Laura and Leslie were nippy too, paddling away like crazy. "Come on, you tigers," Giles yelled, craning back at us. There were just two huge panthers ahead of Giles and Kelly. They had arm muscles like cannonballs and were way out in front. Giles and Kelly paddled frantically, desperate to catch them up. "Nutters," said Biscuits, wiping his brow. "Phew, I don't think much of this canoeing lark. Do you, Tim?" "Yeah, this isn't my idea of fun," I said, paddling hard. "You can say that again," said Biscuits. "This isn't my idea of fun," I said. "You can say that again," said Biscuits. "This isn't my idea of fun," I said, cracking up laughing. "You can say that again," said Biscuits, splattering. We were soon laughing so much we nearly capsized our canoe. Giles and Kelly were getting nearer and nearer the mighty panthers. They drew close, maybe too close. The panthers went a bit wobbly, and suddenly Giles and Kelly were ahead. "We're in front," Giles yelled triumphantly. "We are the champions," Kelly sang, and she took something small out of her pocket and gave a victory wave. She waved a little too vigorously. The small something flew through the air and did a swallow dive into the river. Kelly screamed, "Teresa, come back! You can't swim!" She sounded frantic. Giles was growing frantic too. He was shouting at Kelly. There's Teresa. "Sit down, you'll have us over. What are you doing?" Kelly twisted and turned, practically paddling backwards. "What's up with Kelly?" asked Biscuits, blinking at her. "She's dropped Teresa in the water. You know, her little troll doll," I explained. We knew all about Kelly's lucky mascot. Jake and Sally didn't. They heard Kelly yelling desperately and came whizzing over in their own canoe. "Teresa's drowning," Kelly sobbed. "Where? Which canoe? There isn't a Teresa on the course." "Kelly, who's Teresa?" they shouted urgently, Jake jumping up to dive in to the rescue. "She's a stupid troll doll," Giles said disgustedly, as the mighty panthers raced past towards the winning post. Jake sat down again, and he and Sally waved their hands and went, "Phew." "Please, Jake, can't you dive in and look for her?" Kelly yelled. "Oh, Teresa, where are you?" "Hey," said Biscuits, his eyes beady. "Look, Teresa's just bobbing past." I looked and saw a little purple blob floating off towards the bank. "It is Teresa. It's okay, Kelly," I shouted. "We spotted her, Biscuits and me. We'll get her." "Yeah, we'll get her out for you, Kelly," said Biscuits. How do we get the canoe to go sideways, Tim?" "Like this, "No, like this." Our canoe wobbled dramatically as we experimented. "What are you two playing at?" Giles yelled. "Finish the race first. We've all got to finish or we won't get any points. You can go back for her doll afterwards." "She can't wait," said Kelly. "Come on, Biscuits," I said, "before she gets swallowed up by a fish or something." We made for the bank as best we could. "You Burks," Giles yelled in disgust. "You weedy nerdy little sissies." "I wish he'd get swallowed up by a fish," said Biscuits. "A socking great fish." "He's going to get us later," I said. "Oh, pooh," said Biscuits. "We'll get him." "To the rescue, Super Tim and Biscuit Boy." "Dun, da, dun, dun, dun," Biscuits chanted. We reached the bank. Teresa was bobbing in the scummy shallows, her purple hair wafting like waterweed. I got my paddle and used it like a fish slice, scooping Teresa up in the air. She had never been a very pretty little doll. She'd now lost whatever look she had. But Kelly was still thrilled to get her back. She hugged and kissed her. And you'll never guess what? She hugged and kissed me. Biscuit said he was very glad that I was the one who fished her out. When we were in the kitchens clearing up after tea, Kelly tried to tame Teresa's alarming new hairstyle with a small scrubbing brush. Laura and Leslie sighed. You're hopeless, Kelly, said Laura. Look, give her here, I'll do it. She had her own little pocket hairbrush. Kelly held Teresa while Laura brushed and styled her purple tresses. You're ever so good at hairstyles, Laura, said Leslie. Keep Teresa still, Kelly, said Laura. She's shivering, said Kelly. She peered round and found a scrunched up J-cloth. Yeah, this will keep you warm until we get your little dress dry. Look, I could do with that cloth, Kelly, said Giles, washing dishes at the sink. This one's all holy and horrible. Teresa's need is greater than yours, Giles, said Kelly firmly. You and that stupid doll. She's not a doll, she's a troll, said Kelly. We were winning, Giles wailed. And yet we ended up lost because of you and Biscuits and Tim. He dug me hard with his elbow right in my tummy. Why did you have to mess about for hours getting Kelly's stupid doll? Troll, Kelly shouted, flicking washing up water in Giles' face. Kelly, cut it out, said Giles, splashing her back. He splashed me too. And then you got your canoe stuck in the mud on the bank. It wasn't our fault, said Biscuits, emerging from the food cupboard, his hand deep in a packet of Frosties. Yes, it's not our fault we're not very good at canoeing, I said. The thing is, Tim, you're not very good at anything, said Giles. Kelly splashed Giles again. Giles splashed Kelly. He also splashed Laura by mistake. Giles, Laura squeaked, look at my shirt soaking. Oh, Giles, you've got Laura all wet, said Leslie. Tim's the one that's wet, said Giles, splashing me again. Wet and weedy and pathetic. You shut up, pal, said Biscuits, flicking Frosties at him. You're the one that's pathetic. Yeah, Tim rescued Teresa. He's a hero, said Kelly, and she splashed Giles. He splashed her back, copiously. Laura and Leslie got soaked this time, so they splashed Giles back. He splashed me again. Biscuits emptied the Frosties all over him. Will burst out laughing because he looked so funny. I threw my wiping cloth at him. I missed, but it didn't matter. We all started splashing and shrieking, and then Jake suddenly charged in the kitchen and bellowed at us. What on earth are you lot playing at? We ended up on our hands and knees, doing an awful lot of mopping. There's everybody having a go at Giles. Yeah. And there's Jake in the corner. What's going on? There's Laura and Leslie and Kelly and Biscuits and Tim. Okay, that's the end of that chapter.